Coming up on Mountain News this morning, employees at a Corbin Steakhouse were shocked after showing up for work only to be locked out with no warning. And we give you the latest on a string of school closings in the region as the flu is keeping several students home. Plus, we look to Lexington, where the home of the UK basketball team is getting a name change.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:02 on January 17th. I'm Madison Pergram, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning. If you're waking up, grab that hot coffee because it's chilly outside. Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, and you were Debbie Downer on the weekend earlier. I'm disappointed.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah,
listen,
you are.
Here's the thing. The weekends are always great, always, because well, unless you have to work the weekends, and it's not maybe so great. But again, the weekend for people who work Monday through Friday is always great. But the forecast this weekend is not great. So listen, you're the one who didn't even pay attention to the forecast, so what difference does it make? Let's get into it this morning as we get out the door on this Friday, and you'll see the clouds starting to move in as we head through the first part of your day, and that's going to continue to be the trend. We'll see some sunshine early, but not a whole lot to be found today. Temperatures are cold this morning, so bundle up as you head out the door, anywhere between 25 and 32. 25 Moorhead and Irvin, now Wise and Hazard. Jackson, too. 25 is becoming a popular number, and 32 in Jacksboro. So that's about 20 degrees colder, give or take a degree or two from this time yesterday. 42 is the forecast for today. Madison, did you hear that? 42 today.
Got it.
More clouds later, and then as we go into the weekend, rain chances will pick up with that second front tomorrow, and then winter returns by the 1st of next week. I'll have the extended forecast here in just a little bit. Madison, you better pay attention too when I have that.
Got it. 42 degrees. Well, Pike County schools will not be in session today. The district announced yesterday that its schools will observe a non-traditional instruction day due to lack in attendance. WYMT's Buddy Forbes spoke to officials who say widespread flu activity is to blame.
As the number of confirmed flu cases in Kentucky increases,
we have been looking at attendance this week, and it has steadily declined.
Schools across the region are seeing the impact.
When they have the fever, when they have the symptom home, and they're not allowed to go back to school unless the fever is gone for at least 24 hours and unless they're seen by their physician for that.
With more than 2,200 confirmed cases this week alone, the Kentucky Department for Health reports that the virus hits heavily in children ages 1 to 10, which is why Pike County schools are closing Friday.
Give the kids an opportunity to go home, get the meds, get better, so that we don't continue to spread that from kid to kid.
To give the students a chance to recover and give the staff a chance to deep clean the campuses.
We're confident that the school environment will be healthy enough to return without any problems.
But Dr. Fadi Alacross from the Pikeville Medical Center says that vigilance needs to be met with parent cooperation.
So parents, they have to be responsible. Okay, it's not about letting the kids to go to school because they have a job to do. They have also to care about the other kids and other parents.
He says children and parents should always be tested when they are sick to get a real diagnosis in order to fully treat any illness.
Because some of these viruses can present in similar fashion. And it's very important to know which one is causing the trouble. So I highly recommend people who have the symptoms to be checked with their physician and know exactly what kind of virus they're dealing with.
As the medical and educational institutions come together to keep the community healthy. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, officials expect school to resume Tuesday on regular schedule. And meanwhile, UK healthcare is putting restrictions on visitors. The measures are temporary and are meant to protect other patients' health. For now, children younger than 12 years old are not allowed. No visitors with flu-like symptoms are allowed, and there is a limit of 2 visitors in a patient's room at a time.
We worry about the safety of our healthcare workers, we worry about the safety of other visitors, but most importantly, we worry about the safety of our patients who are vulnerable, who are recovering from their illnesses, and we try to limit as much as possible the amount of flu that they could be exposed to.
Now, doctors are also reminding the public it's not too late to get a flu shot. An ARH held a workshop yesterday to help the Kentucky Department of Public Health on how to conduct investigations if there is an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease. The CDC says there are roughly 9,000 cases of the disease worldwide, but officials believe that may be higher. So officials are providing training on how to properly handle a situation where the disease is present.
Hospitals, skilled nursing homes, and long-term care centers are all required to develop water management programs. They're mandated by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services.
Now, officials say 9 out of 10 outbreaks of Legionnaire's disease can be prevented by proper management systems. And the Kentucky House of Representatives has selected someone to fill the role of floor leader Bam Carney as he continues to recover in the hospital. The House caucus has selected Representative Stephen Rudy to become the temporary floor manager. State Representative John Bam Carney has been in the hospital for weeks. He was diagnosed with a severe case of pancreatitis in late December. House Republicans released a statement saying Judy will open daily proceedings and handle the introducing of reading of bills on the House floor. And in 2018, the city of Pikeville announced the 2D project to revitalize the look of its 2nd and Division streets. Now the first phase of that is complete. Thanks to a $30,000 AARP Community Challenge grant, the plaza outside of the Appalachian Center for the Arts is officially open. The plaza provides unique seating that doubles as entertainment space. Main Street Director Amanda Trimble says the progress of the 2D plan is a step forward for the city.
You know, it can just blow up and be such a huge investment for anyone that wants to be a part of, things that's going to come, and realize that this city is making a big effort to make sure that we continue to be, a trendsetter.
Trimble says the grant, which was the largest award in the state, made the progress possible. And the Whitley County Sheriff's Office served a writ of possession at the Sagebrush Steakhouse in Corbin. Wednesday, employees of the steakhouse reached out to the newsroom, claiming they went to work only to find a padlock and chain on the front door. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talked with one employee searching for answers.
Jesse Robinson is going through a tough time at home.
I'm trying to get on my feet and trying to get my own place because I'm currently getting a divorce and I got 3 kids and me and her split the kids.
Which means for the time being he is living with his mom.
I don't know, it's hard. I don't want to be a failure. I'm a person that's trying to be a good father, and I don't know. I feel like I'm failing them.
Now storms have hit his work life too. On Wednesday, he went for a normal day of work at Sagebrush Steakhouse in Corbin, only to find a chain and padlock on the front door.
I was like, what's going on? Did somebody get hurt? Did did something happen the night before? Did something majorly happen? Did they get robbed?
Jesse and several of his co-workers have the same questions. We had them too. When we tried to get answers, this is the sound we got.
Sorry, your call did not go through. Please try your call later.
In Corbin, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, we reached out multiple times to Sagebrush Steakhouse administration. They did not return our calls and have not sent out any statements. And the convention center, formerly known as the Lexington Center, is in the middle of a $275 million expansion. One more change, it's now the Central Bank Center, and the home of the UK basketball team will be known as Rupp Arena at Central Bank Center. The announcement was made at a news conference yesterday morning, and the deal is between Central Bank and JMI Sports, who controls naming and other media rights for the Lexington Center Corporation and UK. Central Bank will pay $1.5 million per year for 14 years for those naming rights. The athletic director at the University of Kentucky said that partnership allows them to honor Rupp while still growing their athletics programs. Those naming rights add $1.5 million a year onto their existing deal.
These things don't happen because everyone just snaps your fingers and you make them happen. There's got to be some financial principles to what you do and how you do that. That can't happen without good friends.
Now, meanwhile, the expansion project is expected to be finished in spring of 2022. And more than 2.5 years ago, the University of Kentucky announced a name change at Commonwealth Stadium, renaming it Kroger Field. The agreement between Kroger and JMI Sports started at nearly $2 million annually for up to 12 years. At the time, Athletic Director Mitch Barnhart says the 15-year-old deal with JMI in 2014 gave the multimedia rights partner the ability to sell the naming rights to UK's athletics facility.
Forecast for today is going to be on the chilly side, but at least it'll be dry for your Friday. Let's take a look and see what's going on outside the WYMT studios. Things are quiet this morning. No major issues outside of some patchy frost on some of the cars this morning. Bundle up. 25, Moorhead, Irvin, Jackson, Hazard, and Wise. 32 in Jacksboro. That's the range of temperatures this morning. A couple extra minutes should suffice if you do have those little bit of frost there on your car. I had just a touch of that on my car this morning when I came out the door, and you see your day planner doesn't take us up very far, only to about 42 around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Madison.
Thank you, Brandon, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Thursday marked a historic day on Capitol Hill. The senators took the oath to become jurors in the impeachment trial of President Trump. And one Pike County girl took a trip to our nation's capital where she met with President Trump yesterday to talk about religious freedom.